It's time for Crime in the DMV, where we bring you the latest headlines from the week. I'm Kenneth Moten. A man convicted of kidnapping, raping, and murdering a college student may have his sentence reduced. The 1982 case against Jerry Beatty has been reopened. Fox 5's Louis Zhang has the latest.
The defendant in this case is now 59 years old. He was 17 at the time of the offense. The victim was 22.
Long ago, my husband and I forgave both Jones and Beatty. Not that we forget or excuse or don't hold them accountable, but we were not going to let them control our lives and take anything else from us, steal our happiness, our joy.
Roberta Roper has spent the past 4 decades being a voice not only for her daughter Stephanie, but other victims. Stephanie was kidnapped, raped, and killed in April 1982. One of her attackers, Jerry Beatty, remains in prison for his role. He was convicted along with 26-year-old Jack Ronald Jones. His punishment includes 2 concurrent life sentences. The hearing today comes 3 years after the Juvenile Restoration Act was passed in Maryland. It prohibits courts from sentencing people to life in prison without the possibility of parole for crimes committed when they were under 18. But more relevant to this case, it permits people who have been in prison for at least 20 years to file a motion to reduce their sentence. Again, that is if the crime was committed as a juvenile. Beatty's supporters included those who served time with him and have since been released.
To the victim's family, first of all, I want to say he's not the same person. Secondly, I want to say that he still feels a lot of regret about what he did, but there's nothing he can do about it.
Caught on camera, an attack on a student in a Prince George's County high school. The girl's parents are demanding that police arrest the teenage suspect. Shamari Stone has the story.
The mother of this 14-year-old girl says that her daughter is too terrified to return to school here at Potomac High School in Oxon Hill. She says that she feels unsafe here and that at least 7 girls attacked her in a utility closet on school property. You can hear the 14-year-old screaming in pain in this cell phone video showing the girls attacking, beating her at Potomac High School last Thursday, punching her repeatedly in the head, the face, breaking her nose as she cowers on the ground. After the attack, the girl's mother and father tell me she was found in the utility closet, seriously injured, laying unresponsive in her own blood. The parents tell me it took school officials around 30 minutes to find her, and then medics drove her to a hospital. You're now going to hear from the girl's father.
I don't feel safe sending my daughter back to any PG County school, to be honest with you, because if this happened at this school, I'm pretty sure their rules and regulations and their training programs is all the same.
In a written statement, a school spokesperson says, quote, "The safety of students is our top priority. On December 5th, an incident at Potomac High School resulted in injuries to a student. Our safety and security personnel immediately responded to address the situation. School district administrators are in contact with the student's family, and we are working to provide any necessary mental health support to the victim. The incident is under active investigation. Due to privacy laws, we are unable to provide additional information." Prince George's County Police told the girl's family to reach out to the Department of Juvenile Services regarding the potential of criminal charges in this case. The family did that, and they're waiting for an update. In Oxon Hill at Potomac High School, I'm Shamari Stone. Back to you.
An accused ISIS supporter from Springfield, Virginia, is on trial in federal court. He's accused of sending tens of thousands of dollars in cryptocurrency overseas to the terrorist group. Our chief legal correspondent, Katie Barlow, has more from the courtroom.
It wasn't your typical day in court, and that's because the public gallery where we were sitting was behind a long and tall gray wall blocking much of the court action from view. And that's because an undercover FBI agent was testifying about his communications over the years with Mohammed Chipa. That's the defendant in this case. Now, prosecutors accused Chipa of sending tens of thousands of dollars overseas to Turkey, earmarked for the Islamic State, all through cryptocurrency. Now, government officials have long been concerned about terrorist organizations fundraising through crypto and digital assets. While President Biden has been suspicious of crypto, President-elect Donald Trump has promised to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. Some are concerned that loosened regulations could enable more terrorism financing, but one expert says it's a tool for law enforcement.
Crypto is this sort of paradox where you can now send larger amounts of funds faster cross-border than ever before, but law enforcement, FBI, IRSCI, DEA, Secret Service they have tools like TRM that they use to track and trace those funds in ways that they never could before, to build investigations and ultimately seize those funds back.
Chipa has not put on a defense for the jury yet, but his lawyers say the government set him up and took advantage of a lonely and sad man. Today, an undercover FBI agent testified about communicating with Chipa about using crypto to send money overseas to support ISIS. Prosecutors also showed the jury a message exchange between Chipa and the undercover agent about suicide bombs. The FBI first raided Chipa's Fairfax home back in 2019, uncovering materials on how to build an explosive device. We're expecting this trial to last about a week.
Investigators say there is new evidence linking Maryland native Luigi Mangione to the murder of the CEO of United Healthcare. Fox 5's Homa Bash has the latest updates.
While Luigi Mangione is fighting extradition from Pennsylvania to New York, the New York City Police Commissioner says the so-called ghost gun found on the suspect matches 3 shell casings from the shooting scene in Midtown Manhattan, and that his fingerprints matched a water bottle and protein bar wrapper that officers found in the area as well. Just hours ago, Maryland Governor Wes Moore spoke out about the case.
Some of the earliest memories I have in my life was watching the healthcare system fail. I was 3 years old when my dad died in front of me because he didn't get the health care he needed. And so the brokenness of the healthcare system is something that I have lived with and something that still very much sits with me to this day. And working to fix it is something that I still make a core part of my why and my ethos. I also know that the way we solve things is not killing people in cold blood.
The governor says he's glad the wheels of justice are now turning. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione has been charged with the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York and has pleaded not guilty to charges of forging a document and criminal possession of a firearm in Pennsylvania. The gun recovered is now at the NYPD crime lab. And in recent days, investigators have gone to every hotel and motel in Altoona, Pennsylvania, looking for possible surveillance video of him. Investigators say they also recovered a spiral notebook that seems to shed light on a possible motive. The New York Times is reporting that one passage in that notebook reads, quote, "What do? You whack the CEO at the annual parasitic bean counter convention. It's targeted, precise, and doesn't risk innocence," end quote. Here's a friend of Mangione's from his Maryland high school.
The Luigi that I knew and that so many classmates knew was a hardworking, driven, social kid who had everything going for him.
Officials in New York have promised to extradite Mangione as quickly as possible to face that second-degree murder charge.
12 people are facing charges after a man was found zip-tied at a Northwest D.C. home Thursday morning. 1 person is charged with kidnapping, 2 with drug possession, the 9 others with unlawful entry. Fox 5's David Kaplan digging into the details.
They were looking for somebody who they wanted on a bench warrant. It was unrelated when they stumbled upon a man who was zip-tied at the legs as well as the arms. And then that is when D.C. police sort of got involved here. Neighbors on that block tell Fox 5 off camera it was quite a scene as D.C. police responded to that block around 7 a.m. yesterday. Now, when police got to that home, they arrested 12 people inside. 1 of the 12 charged with kidnapping, 2 of the 12 charged with unlawful possession of a controlled substance. The other 9 of the 12 charged with unlawfully being in that home. Now, I have been listening all afternoon to the court hearings and the presentments today in the building behind me. I can tell you that one of the people charged with drug possession was held without bond for now, and one of the people charged with unlawful entry had her case no papered, meaning the government was not going to pursue that charge. Now, the suspect charged with the kidnapping and assault of this person is 33-year-old Devon Patterson. That's who police say is the person responsible for the kidnap and assault. He has not appeared in front of a judge at this time, but some paperwork did pop up on the docket indicating that on or about December 11th, he did kidnap this victim in this case. I have reached out to the attorney listed as representing Patterson. At this point, we have not gotten a response.
Well, that does it for this week's Crime in the DMV. Make sure to tune in next week to stay ahead with Fox 5 here on Fox Local as we continue to bring you the latest updates. I'm Kenneth Moten.